This piece right here is called Death on a Motorcycle. And it's a collaborative piece. It's made, I made the bicycle out of scrap pieces of wood, well, wood too, but scrap pieces of metal that I had. This piece right here, the handlebars, no, not the handlebars, but this piece of this A-frame came from a bicycle that used to belong to my sister, Barbara. My sister, Barbara, has passed away, but every time I see it, it reminds me of her because she used to ride this bike around, you know. And this wheel is from a dump that we found in an old dump. We found this wheel, my brother and I. My nephew, Giovanni López, my brother's son, made this little scorpion. And he made it, especially, he said, I want you to put it on the carreta on the motorcycle. And this motorcycle is unusual because it's made out of all scrap pieces of metal. These are burners from an old stove. I gutted an old stove, and I used a lot of those parts. All this is from the old stove. This is from the old stove. All these little pipes are from the old stove. That's from the old stove. This part here is from a hair dryer. This is from an old bike. This is from a watch, an old watch. And over here on the death figure, we have a little necklace that she's wearing. We call Death Nuestra Señora Sebastiana, Doña Sebastiana, Doña Sebastiana. Doña means like respectful way of saying Mrs. No, Doña, or somebody with respect. Like in the Spanish language, we would call somebody that you respect Don. That's a sign of respect, no? And this one, Doña Sebastiana, they have a name for her in Spanish. That's her name, death name, Sebastiana, no? If Sebastiana's coming for you, you know who's coming. And we have all these pieces. These are real bullets from a 38. They're not fake bullets, they're real bullets. Death has a little gun she can shoot you with. No, she can just get this gun and you're done for. Okay, we put the gun back. She has a little hook over here on the other hand that she's holding, a fishing hook that she catches suckers with, you know. And she has other things that she can kill you with. She can run over you with that bicycle that she has. On the bike she has parts of transformer where it can get the wind. No, these wings on the both sides can catch the wind and make it aerodynamic. This bike can fly. It can actually fly. It can shoot bullets. It's got a radio. She can listen to the radio while she's walking along. If you'll notice, she has tears on her face. A lot of people around here, not a lot, but a few people put tattoo tears on their own faces. And that's just to show that they're sad. For some reason or another, you know, they're sad. And I made the muerte there. She's sad, she's taking souls. No, she doesn't really want to, but let me tell you a story about esta señora Sebastiana, okay? There was this one guy. He was on his deathbed. No, he was on his deathbed. And he was dying. He didn't want to die. And he could see death at the foot of the bed. And he said, give me a little time. If you could give me any extra time, I would appreciate it. And death felt sorry for him. No, La Muerte felt sorry for the man. She says, just because it's you, I'm going to give you one more year. And that's it. And so she went away and he got well from his sickness. He got well. And that year just went like that. No. Before he knew it, the year was up. And that day, he knew that day, La Muerte was coming by for him. No. So he said, I'm not going to stick around here so she can find me. I'm not going to stick around the house. So he says, besides that, he says, I'm going to change my demeanor, my complexion, whatever, everything. So he went and he balded his head. No, And instead of staying home, he went to the dance. He took off to the dance, no. And he said, so the muerte went to his house, knocked on the door. Anybody home? No, nobody home. She went, looked at the bed. He's gone. No, oh, she was going. She was going sort of disappointed because she didn't have her customer with her. So she heard the music coming from the dance hall. So she peeked in the dance hall, no, and she goes, so I won't go home empty-handed. There was this guy dancing around with a bald head, no, and you could see him because his head was bald, and nobody else's head was bald, no. And she said, since I won't go home empty-handed, she says, I'm going to take that bald guy with me.
That's great.
So she finally took with the bald guy with him, no, and it was the same guy who was trying to hide. So anyway, the thing is with the Spanish culture, the Mexican culture, the Native American culture, we look at death in a way of, you have to laugh about it. No, you can't take it seriously because if you did, you'd be overwhelmed. No, so in the Dia de los Muertos and in our culture, we make a joke of it, and at the same time we respect it, but we know it's coming, so we sort of laugh about it. No, and this whole thing, I made it into a little scene, and it's a collaborative scene. Also, this piece here, La Muerte taking a drink of tequila, no, was made by a friend of mine from San Francisco, California. His name was Ralph Madradiaga, and Ralph was a beautiful, beautiful person. And as he made, when he was here in New Mexico, he came down to New Mexico, he made a series of, those are silk screens. He made a series of silk screens and different cactuses, the things in New Mexico that impressed him, no. And he was a beautiful person. He was a runner. He was always staying on top of everything. Physically, he would run. One day he got home from a run, sat down on the couch, had a heart attack, and that was it. He died. Pobrecito. He was young. He was maybe 40, 45 maybe.
Wow.
Not even 45. Anyway, Diego, my son, went to Mexico last year, and he bought me that skull as a little gift from Mexico. This is a little something I have it's part of the scene. It's a tape of Johnny Tapia. Johnny Tapia was from Albuquerque. He was a 5-time world champion boxer. 5-time. And he was a vato loco, what you call a vato loco from the neighborhood, from the barrios. And he's just one of the guys that was able to make it out of the barrio and to a world championship, 5 world championships, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
And this skull down there is one of my son's Cruz's works. He made that on the computer, but first he had to make one out of glass, that's epoxy. He poured that one out of epoxy, and then he took pictures of it, and then on the computer he made that out of the glass, out of the epoxy mold that he made first. He made this piece, Cruz, my son Cruz Lopez. So the whole thing is a collaborative piece. And then I put the mirror there, and Zapata, he's one of my heroes from Mexico. I put his picture in there, and that mirror reflects the image that Cruz, so it's like a double image, but it's like a trick. Yeah, it would be an illusion. So, let's see what else is unusual. I put him a bandana because the bike riders around here like to wear those bandanas. And it has a piece of osha. This is a native root that is used as a remedio, as a healing herb that also keeps away snakes. This herb will keep away snakes, and evil spirits, no. So we make a tea out of it and drink it every day so the evil spirits don't bother us, no. And then I put it over here for the muerte to have extra protection, and so that the herb will help the muerte too in her duty, in her. It's all part of nature, part of nature. It goes to show that we're all part of the earth. No, we're part of the earth, and from dust we came, and to dust we shall return. And that's the story of the muerte.